Most parents are wary of the so-called heavy metal music.
Salut à tous, METALXS, c'est l'essentiel de l'actualité métal et dérivé en quelques minutes, le tout en images, en musique et en interview. METALXS est une exclusivité RIFFX by Crédit Mutuel, la plateforme de toutes les musiques, tous les talents, en partenariat avec Artforce. C'est parti.
Hello the whole world, I'm speaking to you from Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, which is now under the siege of the Russian troops. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Saturday. First of all members of Ginger who are currently in Kiev are relatively safe and okay as much as it is possible during these dark days. Secondly, we appreciate all our fans worldwide for showing this solidarity with us and our country, for opposing the barbarism of war which was started by Putin here in Ukraine on the 24th of February. I would like to speak to all the people of the civilized world, all our fans, all music fans, all metalheads, worldwide, no matter where you're from, especially if you're from Russia. This war cannot be justified by anything, no matter what propaganda says. No one deserves what we are going through now here in Ukraine. The innocent people of Ukraine are suffering. I'm not talking about politicians. I'm not talking about our government. The innocent people of our country are suffering exactly this moment. All the inhabitants, all the people of Kiev are spending their days and nights in the shelters and basements. Children are spending their days and nights in the shelters. They are scared. They don't have proper food. They don't have enough water. They don't have any comfort. Do they deserve this? I bet no. Please, spread the word about Putin's aggression. Together, we can stop this.
Le 24 février dernier, l'entrée en guerre de la Russie par son invasion de l'Ukraine a plongé le monde entier dans la stupéfaction et l'horreur et jeté des millions de civils sur les routes de l'exode ou dans des abris s'ils n'étaient pas blessés ou tués. La communauté internationale a quasi unanimement condamné l'action militaire du gouvernement russe. Parmi les témoignages en Ukraine, vous venez de voir celui du bassiste du groupe Ginger qui a ému le monde de la musique et au-delà. Les artistes, même si cela paraît dérisoire, ont partagé leurs émotions sur les réseaux sociaux et beaucoup se sont mobilisés pour réunir des fonds. Des tournées prévues en Russie et en Ukraine sont également boycottées ou annulées pour des raisons de sécurité. Des artistes russes, vous allez le voir avec Slaughter to Prevail, se désolidarisent même de leur gouvernement et prônent la paix. METALXS vous invite à participer au grand élan d'entraide, soit par des dons aux organisations humanitaires et ONG en place, soit en soutenant les initiatives individuelles des groupes qui mettent en vente du merchandising exceptionnel dont les recettes sont reversées pour aider la population. Nous espérons à présent une issue la moins dramatique possible et apportons tout notre soutien à tous ceux qui sont frappés par cette tragédie.
Corey Taylor, Griffin Taylor. We just wanted to send our love, our best wishes to all of our family and friends in the Ukraine. Stay strong. We're with you. We're standing with you, and we're thinking about you. Hopefully, we will see you soon. Stay strong.
Dear fan and friends in Russia, I am Christina of Lacuna Coil, and I am heartbroken to announce that the tour scheduled for May 2022 is unfortunately cancelled. We were really looking forward to meet you all and perform for you guys. But due to the circumstances, we can't ignore what's going on in this horrible and senseless war. We know many of you have nothing to do with this, and that is why we can't wait to be back to Russia, to be able to perform for you guys again in the name of music and peace. We're so very sorry about this. Stay strong out there, and hopefully see you very, very soon. Bye.
I'm making an official statement on behalf of the whole band as a leader. I'm Alex Serbil, play for Suédois SABATON and vocalist. We play deathcore, death metal, and showing the guns and weapons and tanks and our video clips and so on. Despite this fact, we against the war. We against any war. It is so hurt us to see what is happening right now in Ukraine. And we've been in Ukraine many times with the shows, and our last tour finished in Ukraine. Please do not make the whole Russian people an accomplice. I wish you a beautiful, peaceful sky above your head. Thank you for your attention.
45 ans de carrière au compteur et toujours mené par la voix unique de son leader Biff Byford, SAXON demeure l'une des pointures du heavy metal britannique, aux côtés d'Iron Maiden et Def Leppard. Icône de la scène metal des années 80, le groupe, aux 13 millions d'albums vendus dans le monde, a sorti Carpe Diem, 24e disque à paraître sous les ailes de l'aigle métallique. En attendant sa venue en concert en octobre prochain, nous nous sommes entretenus à distance, depuis chez lui, avec le chanteur et gardien des traditions, et lui avons d'abord demandé s'il était surpris de voir le succès que rencontre Carpe Diem un mois après sa sortie.
Yeah, we're really surprised. It's really doing fantastic, the album. Still getting great reviews, still selling well. Obviously, we've got a tour coming up later in the year, so yeah, we're really surprised. It's always great to, for an album to be considered special. That's always a great thing. So yeah, I think a lot of things as well because it's really what the fans and what the press and the critics have said about the album that's really made it so special. We were just making an album in COVID lockdown, so it's quite difficult for us, quite a big struggle. So, but I think the album is full of energy, and the songs are great. I think so. It was really good. Yeah.
Le public métal est très fidèle au disque, à l'objet, qu'il soit CD ou vinyle. C'est une chance.
Yeah, I think bands like ourselves, that sell a lot of physical product, I think we're very good for the record industry as well, because it keeps them producing things rather than just streaming, which is, we do a lot of streams, but predominantly when an album comes out, Saxon album comes out, people will buy the physical product, CD, cassette, vinyl especially. So we take a lot of time doing the artwork and things to make the package look great. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons. It's a bit like buying a T-shirt, buying an album. You keep it forever, don't you? So it's something. It's not throwaway like say streaming. You just can delete it and download something else.
Saxon a eu la chance de pouvoir jouer quelques concerts en Angleterre récemment. Qu'a-t-il ressenti après 2 ans d'absence de la scène?
Oh, it was great. It was a great feeling. we had the concert had been postponed for 2 years. Some people kept their tickets. We were sold out shows, and so it was great actually. Walking out in front of that many people that were so excited to see us finally see SAXON on the 40th anniversary of the big Castle and Eagles production with the screeners and the fire and the, all the windows and all everything going on at once. It's a great feeling really to put a big production on in front of a really fanatical Saxon audience.
Carpe Diem est un peu l'album de tous les défis. Biff a eu de gros problèmes de santé. La pandémie est venue s'ajouter à cela. Ne s'est-il pas senti un peu découragé au cours de la réalisation de ce disque?
No, I don't think so, because we were sort of in a situation where we had some of the album already made before COVID hit. We had the drum tracks down and the bass tracks down, and we did some of the guitars in sort of 2020, April, May, when there was a bit of a lull in the COVID thing. So, we did release a couple of albums in the meantime, really, to like a stopgap. We did an Inspirations album. Me and my son formed a band called Heavy Water. We did that album as well. So we did have some product out there, but it took a while. It gave me a lot of time to spend on vocals and melody ideas and a bit more thoughtful about lyrics. So I think the whole album, in some ways, benefited from the fact that we had no shows. There's no live work, so we had to turn ourselves into a recording band again, which is what we did, really. So I think we turned a bad thing around and made it work for us, I think.
Le titre de l'album Carpe Diem, profiter de l'instant présent, sonne comme un euphémisme en ces temps troubles.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy at the moment. I think there's a huge uncertainty in people's minds of what's happening, and it's crazy. There's some crazy people out there, really, and hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed and it can stay. It can get better. It's terrible what's happening in Ukraine, but it's just crazy. You can't really, as a musician, entertainer, you can't really understand what people are going through over there. So it's crazy. It really is crazy. That's what I think. I just think, I read the news and watch the TV and it's like crazy. Why is this happening? Something's going on somewhere. It's not right.
Saxon s'est souvent intéressé aux conflits historiques, mais Biff se sentirait-il prêt à écrire sur un conflit récent?
Well, my interest really is in a more historic nature, because when I was born in the 50s, so the war was over. The Second World War was over. So there was a lot of films and literature and books came out talking about the Second World War, and so I was quite interested in it at school and things, and became interested in the First World War, and then the Vietnam War, I suppose, and then the Korean War. So I think somebody's been at war since war, for maybe 1,000 years. There's somebody's been at war in the world, So war it's not something that goes away. It's always there, I think. Sometimes small, sometimes big, But I think there has to be some sort of time lapse before you start writing songs about it, because it's too painful in people's minds. I mean, I did write a song about COVID, but I thought it would have been over by now. So the song's quite relevant to today, really. But I was hoping it would have been, about the past. But so most of my lyrics, battle lyrics and war songs, are nearly always about the unfortunate soldier that has to fight it, and the sort of people that have to live through it. So that's really where I'm coming from with my lyrics. So, if I was to write a song about Iraq or the Ukrainian war. It would come later, because it's too painful for people. It's not something I could write a song about and expect people to enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's a fine line between enjoying a song and it bringing really painful things to you.
Sur Carpe Diem, une chanson est intitulée Pilgrimage. A-t-il un lieu de pèlerinage personnel?
I think if you're going to go somewhere special and you have to travel, I think there has to be some hardship in a pilgrimage. I think some struggle. I think that's the original idea behind the pilgrimage. But in the sort of in the Middle Ages, I think pilgrims sometimes walk backwards. To make it even more of a sort of sacrifice, to get to your religious place. But I think, for instance, people go to see, to see Jim Morrison's grave in Paris. People pilgrimage to see that. Or Jimi Hendrix in down there in Seattle. So yeah, I think I have been on pilgrimages. I think I've been, in fact, I went to the Roman wall actually with my wife when I was writing Carpe Diem, and that gave me the idea to write the song about the Roman wall that crosses England from coast to coast. So I suppose that was a pilgrimage, walking the wall. We were walking there. We spent 2 days up there, walking a long way, and it was pretty good. It was keeping me fit as well after the operation. So, and I guess that's when I thought, because I was going to call the album Pilgrimage, but I went with Seize the Day. It's a bit more positive, I think. But yeah, pilgrimage. People go to in Hellfest in France, so pilgrimage to that definitely. And people do, hitch lifts there and. Try and get there any way they can. So I suppose there's quite a lot of hardship in that. And then you're there camping, which again sometimes it's a hardship, especially if it's raining. So there's a lot of struggle connected with that. Glastonbury is a big pilgrimage place now with the festival, and it was a big religious pilgrimage in the past as well.
En 2022, Saxon vient de sortir un excellent album. Scorpions aussi, sans parler d'Iron Maiden l'année dernière. Les légendes en ont toujours sous le pied. Et qu'est-ce qui pourrait les arrêter?
I don't think we'll stop until the wheels fall off, actually. We have 5 wheels on the bus, don't we? So, I suppose if one of them falls off, then we have to sort of decide what to do then. But I think we don't really think about retiring. I don't think there's really any point. The Scorpions have retired 3 or 4 times already, so. And they're still playing great live and writing great music. So, I think somebody comes up with the idea sometimes of a band retiring, and then nearly always they go, "Why are we retiring? Why? Because we like doing what we're doing, So, we don't really think about it. We don't really talk about retiring, I must say. If somebody wants to stop, then they'll stop,
Rien n'arrêtera donc Saxon, et vous aurez le plaisir de pouvoir les voir avec d'autres vétérans de la scène métal britannique, Diamond Head, le 2 octobre à Paris au Trianon et le 22 octobre à Metz, la BAM. Et surtout, profitez de l'instant présent. Parmi les albums attendus dans les prochains jours, notez sur vos tablettes Ghost et son 5e album studio Impera. Le groupe conceptuel de Tobias Forge n'a pas fini de faire parler de lui. On sort les archives chez Kiss avec Off the Sunboard, un live enregistré à Virginia Beach le 25 juillet 2004. Le groupe de métal alternatif du Missouri, Shaman's Harvest, sort son 7e disque Revelator. Les pionniers de l'Indus Metal US Stabbing Westward sont de retour avec leur premier disque en 21 ans, Chasing Ghosts. Black metal suédois et Dark Funeral qui propose son 7e album studio We Are the Apocalypse. Power metal progressif Made in Pyrénées, toujours actif de manigance avec le bal des ombres. Le chanteur-bassiste de Enough is Enough, Cheap is Enough, est en solo avec Perfectly Imperfect. Album posthume solo pour le chanteur de Trouble, qui nous a quitté l'année dernière, Eric Wagner et In the Lovely Light of Morning. Toujours fidèle à son hard mélodique, FM et 13. Make It Count, c'est le deuxième album solo du chanteur de Pretty Mates, Ronnie Atkins. Et enfin, Stanga, le groupe révélation français signé chez Mascot Records avec Soma Sema. Un album pour venir à bout de toutes les guerres, si seulement. Ils ont fait des grands conflits historiques mondiaux le thème principal de leur inspiration. Les Suédois SABATON sont rattrapés par l'actualité alors que leur 10e album, The War to End All Wars, vient tout juste de paraître. C'est à Londres que METALXS a contacté le chanteur Joakim Brodén pour parler d'un disque qui évoque la grande histoire, mais dont la lecture prend un tout nouveau sens avec le conflit actuel qui secoue l'Europe. Mais parlons d'abord de ce disque qui reprend le titre célèbre de l'écrivain Herbert George Wells.
We thought it was fitting because we already, on the previous album, which we did, was called The Great War. And at the point that when we did that album, we didn't know we were going to do one more album that is covering the same topic. And unfortunately, even on that one, we had a song towards the end called The End of the War to End All Wars. And when we realized we're going to do one more album about the same topic, that was the most logical choice, because I think the phrase is so well known that most people who have, well, I say, are interested in history would know which conflict it refers to. When we were doing Great War already, we knew we had to abandon some stories because there wasn't room or we didn't have the right music. We had songs like Harlem Hellfighters, Christmas Truce that we knew about when we did the Great War, but we didn't have the right music for. So those were sort of our starting points. But also during the time from the announcement, I guess, of the Great War album, the previous one, and then throughout the tour, we got so much emails from fans and friends and books. And let me tell you, there were a lot of times we were, how the hell did we not know this, you know? So, in a way, we had not planned to do it, but those two reasons, having left those songs, also the new stories we discovered, but also the pandemic sort of breaking the Great War tour. Those three reasons, I guess, made it impossible for us to do anything else about this album.
Sabaton s'est toujours intéressé à l'héroïsme, la bravoure et des faits individuels plutôt que des grandes batailles pour illustrer la grande histoire.
Yeah, I would say so, and I also find that the human side is most fascinating to me. I mean, I do like tanks and battleships, yes, of course, but there's a human element to that, so I'd probably rather prefer to know more about the tank crew who drove into a battle than the tank itself, because that is, to a certain extent, interesting. But, every single gun placement and caliber and stuff, that's not really I don't mind it, but it's not really what drives me. I really, as you pointed out earlier, the human side and how such an extreme circumstances, military conflict can bring out the worst or the best, people.
La sortie de l'album dans le contexte actuel de conflit en Ukraine a eu des répercussions immédiates sur le disque.
We've already had a lot of pushback, which is still, problem for us, but it's not important. But yeah, we've had stuff like marketing in TV in Germany, for example, has been cancelled by the TV channel because they didn't want to do it at this time, which I respect. I mean, it's a shame for us, but it sucks even more for people who are in the conflict, so I'm not complaining at all.
La paix n'est jamais apparue aussi fragile qu'aujourd'hui, une menace sur l'Europe qui semblait appartenir à un autre siècle.
Yeah, I think Europe has been sort of sheltered for quite some time now, but it is important to remember that there are dozens of conflicts going on, armed conflicts going on in the world at all times, possibly up to 100, and it isn't until now, when it's on our doorstep, we reacted in this way, actually. So I can't say I saw it coming because I had no idea. I'm not that smart. It's been going on. It's just never on our doorstep, so our media doesn't cover it that extensively.
Avant les grands conflits mondiaux du XXe siècle, il y a eu des mouvements pacifistes qui n'ont pas pu empêcher l'inéluctable. On a vu naître des mouvements dans le monde entier pour que cesse la guerre en Ukraine, avec cette impression que seule une minorité souhaite ce conflit.
Yeah, I think it's really important to remember that, and this doesn't go for only this conflict, but just because a government does something, you have to think about the situation that government is in power, or are they democratically chosen, stuff like that. So I think it's important to not go around, hitting Russians, because I know quite a few Russians, and the ones I know are really nice people.
Peut-on imaginer un jour que Sabaton écrive un album sur une guerre plus contemporaine?
Stuff that it's a little bit too close to present in the past, but that was a long time ago, so that is now really history. But if we take any events that would be happening now, I don't think we would, I'm not saying never, but this is our sort of reasoning when we talked about it in the past. We probably wouldn't do something until real historians have done the research, because it's important to remember that we are super passionate about history, yes, but we are passionate amateurs, not professionals. We need the expertise of real historians to lean on in form of books or papers and reports, whatever, and hopefully historians who is not from any of the countries, that were involved in the conflict, to avoid bias. So, yeah, I'm saying any conflict wouldn't be impossible, but it would have to be enough time passed for us to actually go into it.
Le nouvel album est prêt depuis début 2021. Le groupe a-t-il déjà pensé à la suite?
No, I mean, in a sense, we know this is going to be a really, really long touring cycle on this album, for sure. And that's what I want to do as well. Other than that, when you're in the middle of a intense touring cycle, when you get the breaks, few breaks you get, you sort of want to meet your loved ones and maybe take a small break. For me, it could be hiking in the mountains or something like that,
Alors que de nouvelles dates européennes reprogrammées sont annoncées, le Hellfest se profile en juin. Un festival avec lequel Sabaton entretient des relations très particulières, surtout après avoir remplacé au pied levé le groupe Manowar durant un épisode dont tout le monde se souvient.
Well, we can hope my voice is working to start, That's a good place to start. But, yeah, we are going to do everything we can, of course. But it's like, I don't think people realize actually how cool Hellfest 2022 is. Look at that building, look at that lineup. 20 years from now, that's the place. It will no longer be like, yeah, I was at Monsters of Rock, or yeah, I was at Woodstock, That is insane, that thing. Yeah. It's the most impressive lineup I've ever seen in my life.
Sabaton sera le 26 juin prochain à Clisson, au Hellfest. Et notez bien une toute nouvelle date, le 21 avril 2023, au Zénith de Paris. METALXS, c'est terminé pour aujourd'hui. On se retrouve dans 15 jours pour un nouveau numéro avec toujours plus d'interviews, de surprises et de contenus inédits. Merci de nous avoir suivis et n'oubliez pas de prolonger l'expérience métal sur RIFFX.fr. Salut!